Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic. Countries where buying real estate is nearly impossible for citizens. It's like the housing market is playing a never-ending game of go directly to jail. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. We're talking about places where the dream of owning a home feels about as attainable as a pet unicorn who also does your taxes. So buckle up, because we're about to explore the wild world of real estate restrictions and the countries that make home ownership feel like a fever dream. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. First up, we have the Hermit Kingdom itself, North Korea. The government, led by everyone's favorite authoritarian dynasty, pretty much owns everything. Citizens, they get what's generously called housing allocation. Think of it like a really grim lottery where the prize is a concrete apartment you can't sell and the only view is more concrete. It's like living in a brutalist Lego set, but instead of being fun, it's just bleak. This lack of a housing market contributes to North Korea's isolation and stifles any chance of economic mobility. The government likes to keep its people right where it can see them, preferably in drab, identical buildings. And, let's not forget, a little bit of fear never hurt anyone, especially when you're trying to maintain an iron grip on power. Next, we're heading to the land of classic cars and questionable cigars, Cuba. Now, Cuba did loosen its grip on private property a bit back in 2011, but let's just say it wasn't exactly a real estate revolution. For starters, Cubans can only buy and sell property to other Cubans. Decades of economic stagnation and a dual currency system make it nearly impossible for most Cubans to afford to buy property, even if they could. This has led to a thriving black market for housing, where deals are struck in hushed tones and wads of cash. Change hands faster than you can say embargo. It's a system that's as frustrating as it is fascinating, and it leaves many Cubans feeling like they're stuck in a housing purgatory. Chapter 3. China's housing market, a bubble wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Let's set sail, metaphorically of course, to the economic powerhouse that is China. Now, China's real estate market is a bit like a panda, fascinating to look at. But you wouldn't want to turn your back on it. See, in China you don't technically own the land your house sits on. You essentially lease the land for 70 years. On top of that, China has a bit of a ghost city problem. Entire developments stand empty, built on speculation and fueled by a seemingly insatiable appetite for concrete. Real estate is seen as a safe investment in China, leading to sky-high prices and a whole lot of empty apartments. It's a bubble that's been threatening to burst for years, and frankly, it's enough to make you want to invest in a good old-fashioned mattress to stash your cash under. Chapter 4, Saudi Arabia, where oil doesn't make everything slick, especially real estate. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to Saudi Arabia. A country where the sand is plentiful, the oil even more so, but owning a home, well, that's a bit trickier. Despite being one of the world's largest oil producers, many Saudis struggle to get on the property ladder. It's a classic case of the haves and the have-yots, with a widening gap between the wealthy elite and ordinary citizens. The government has implemented some programs to try and address the issue, but progress has been about as slow as a camel in rush hour. Many are forced to rent, often paying exorbitant prices for cramped apartments. It's a situation that's putting a strain on families and the economy. Chapter 5. Myanmar, where the future of real estate is as clear as mud. Finally, let's journey to Myanmar, a country emerging from decades of military rule and facing a whole host of challenges, including, you guessed it, a complicated real estate market. For years, buying and selling property was a murky affair, riddled with bureaucracy, corruption, and a legal framework that made the Dead Sea Scrolls look like a straightforward IKEA assembly manual. The government has introduced reforms aimed at modernizing the land titling system and making it easier for citizens to own property. It's a step in the right direction, but there's still a long way to go. However, with continued reform and a bit of luck, Myanmar's real estate market might just become a place where dreams of home ownership can finally take root. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of 5 countries where buying real estate can feel like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded after eating a pound of gummy bears. It's a reminder that while we often take the ability to own property for granted, for many around the world it remains an elusive dream. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video.